Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, episode 17 of the weekly roundup on LRM Online. And let's get started with this show talking about the news. So the first news piece is Brian Michael Bendis will be leaving Guardians of the Galaxy. So he's been on this title since the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, I feel, since they kind of brought Guardians of the Galaxy back with the original Marvel Now. So it's been a couple of years, and I feel like his run has been kind of an uphill battle. I've liked some of his stuff. I liked his ideas of bringing Kitty on the team, but I feel like there's other books that kind of made that story a bit more, made it better with Kitty and Star-Lord. But I think one of the better stories that came out of Guardians of the Galaxy was definitely Black Vortex. I enjoyed that. That was a Guardians and X-Men crossover. So I thought that was cool. But I feel like Guardians, because Brian Michael Bendis had so many titles, it felt a lot of times it was filler issues. So I am excited for someone else to take the reins of Guardians of the Galaxy. I know a lot of people want the comic to focus on cosmic stories a bit more. But, it was great to see Bendis on this title for such a long time. But I'm hoping this means that he's going to take less titles so he can concentrate on the titles he has. So moving on to the next topic, which is that Charles Soule will pay tribute to Carrie Fisher in Poe Dameron issue 14. So he was writing the issue when Carrie Fisher passed, and he is writing a funeral scene, and he's going to give a tribute to Carrie Fisher in that scene. So I probably will actually get this issue. I don't usually pick up Poe Dameron, but I want to see what type of tribute that Charles Soule will give. The next is actually a news piece that I think came out on Christmas Day, at night, I feel, or maybe it was Christmas Eve, and that was that Aliens Covenant trailer came out. And I was surprised by it. Not surprised, because I feel like Aliens, Prometheus was good. They always come out with good movies. I think I was surprised that the trailer came out. I didn't even know there was another Aliens coming out. But what I liked is that they mixed a horror and sci-fi element. So they mixed what made Aliens 1 really good and Aliens 2 really good and kind of brought it together. My only worry is that it's going to feel like a reboot and there won't be any new ideas coming into this franchise. But I'm hoping it pays homage to both the first two Aliens with telling a new story. So we'll have to see, but I like the trailer, or at least our first trailer that we received. So now moving on to two villains are going to be returning for Supergirl Season 2. We have Livewire, who hasn't shown up since Season 1, and Metallo, who was the villain for the first couple of episodes for Supergirl. And one thing I always say about Supergirl that I love is how they develop their Villain of the Week villains. That I feel like Flash and Arrow stumble upon a lot is they're not able to really make Villain of the Weeks we care about. They're just kind of there to be punched at and, make our heroes look cool. But I think with Supergirl, they actually develop those one-shot villains a little bit more. So I'm excited to see Livewire and Metallo return. Now moving on to the last news piece, which is that the animated Spider-Man movie might feature Miles. So instead of it being a main Peter Parker story, it might be a Miles Morales story, which I think is great because we already have Spider-Man Homecoming with Peter. We don't need a repeat of him being in an animated movie. So I think that'd be cool, and if this movie does well, he'll go into the live action stuff. So maybe if they get the same voice actor to do the live action appearances, that would be kind of cool and different. So that's all the news for this week. Kind of a slow week because of the holidays. But let's start talking about the movie I saw this week, which was La La Land. Finally got to see this movie. Pretty sure it was released on Christmas weekend. And I really enjoyed this. I felt that the beginning was a little slow. It took a little while to get into it. But the message it gave about old Hollywood, I feel like even dash of theater, and obviously the visuals are beautiful, and you do like the characters by, I would say, the middle of the film. I think I definitely like Jake Gyllenhaal's character a bit more than Emma Stone's, but I liked it. I had a really fun time, and it actually was a fun movie. I felt like with these type of movies about Hollywood and dreams. A lot of times it can be sad. So I'm glad it was kind of more of a happy movie. And again, it has those vibes of old Hollywood movies. So that's the movie I saw this week. Now, TV shows, I'm binging a couple of things. Maybe I'll talk about next week. I'm binging Assassination Classroom, which I'm really enjoying right now. I think I'm on like episode 10. And then next week we have Teen Wolf returning, and Sweet and Vicious returning. So very excited for that. So I'll definitely be talking about some TV shows for next week. So I'm now moving on to the comics. What was my favorite comic of this week? And that was Supergirl Being Super issue 1. I was blown away by this book. I was really excited to read it because I'm a huge Supergirl fan. And I feel like we haven't had a good Supergirl story in a really long time. With the New 52 and DC Rebirth, I just haven't been able to connect to the character as much as I have in the past. And, you know, having an amazing TV show, you want to have the comics be as amazing as that show. I mean, of course, the Adventures of Supergirl comics are really good. But you know, even though this is not in continuity, it's something different. It has nothing to do with the TV show. It's actually just focusing on Supergirl's character. And I love the modern take it takes on Kara because it wipes away her history of being on Krypton and, or at least her knowing that she was on Krypton and, you know, coming to Earth to help her cousin. This is focusing on Kara being a teenager and her finding her own origins, which really has never been done with Supergirl because she's always so connected to her planet because she was, you know, the only one that really remembered it, and to Clark's stories. So it's nice to have something like this, and it's just such a good coming of age story. If you enjoy teen stories, if you love Supergirl, I think you're going to really like this. So now moving on to the books I'm looking forward to next week. There's actually kind of a smaller haul for me. I think I'm only getting like 11 physical books, and then I'm reading a few digital books. So it's not a huge week. But the books I'm looking forward to, my third most anticipated is Justice League of America Atom issue 1. Very excited for the Justice League of America book, reading Justice League vs. Suicide Squad to get into that. And I'm excited to kind of see what DC Rebirth does with these characters. So number 2 is Unstoppable Wasp issue 1. I'm curious to see if Nadia can hold her own book. And I liked her character from All New, All Different Avengers. I thought she was definitely the best part of that series when she did appear. So I'm excited to see what her ongoing series will be like. And then my most anticipated book being Hawkeye issue 2. Really enjoyed the first issue. Love Kate Bishop's character. And looking forward to seeing what Kelly Thompson does next with this character. So those are all my anticipated books, and that's all the news and everything I have to say for Comic Uno episode this week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno and LRM Online, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.